Using the product of primes to find the highest common factor and the lowest common multiple. So if we're told number A is written as 2 times 3 squared times 7 in its prime factor form, and then B is 2 squared times 3 times 5 times 7, show that the highest common factor of A and B is 42. Well, if we've got 2 times 3 times 3 times 7, which is A, and then 2 times 2 times 3 times 5 times 7, which is B, all we really need to do is to say what goes into both of these. Well, use a different colour. We've got a 2 in both, so clearly a 2 goes into both. There's not another 2, there's 1 2 here, but there's no more 2's in here. There's definitely a 3 in both, but only 1 3 in both. This one's only got 1 3. There's no 5's in both, but there is a 7 in both. So the numbers that go into both are 2, 3 and 7. Now a quick way of doing that is to look at the powers that are in both. So if we've got the powers of the prime numbers and we just take the smallest power from each one, there isn't a power of 5 here, so that's 5 to the 0. So the smallest power of 2 is 1, the smallest power of 3 is 1, the smallest power of 5 is the 0, and the smallest power of 7 is a 1. So that's your 2 times 3 times 7. And as we can calculate, 2 times 3 is 6, times 7 equals 42. So that shows that it's 42. You really just need to say that it's 2 times 3 times 7, which is 42. Part B, work out the least common multiple. Now the least common multiple is the opposite. It's a number that both of these go into. So when we're looking at 2 times 3 times 3 times 7 and 2 times 2 times 3 times 5 times 7, then we need a number that both of these go into. So if I start off with this number, this seems to be the bigger of the two numbers, then I want a number that this goes into, which obviously it does because it's itself, and then this number's got to go into it. So every part of this number must go into here. So the 2 clearly goes into here because there's 2 2's here. This 3 goes into here, but this 3 won't go into it at the same time as this one because there's 2 3's. There's not 2 3's here for it to go into. The 7 goes into here, so that's fine. So all I've really got to do is take this number and multiply by 3. And that would give me the least common multiple. Now you could leave it as 2 squared times 3 squared times 5 times 7. But it does actually say work it out, so we have to put that into the calculator to get 2 squared times 3 squared times 5 times 7. And that will give us 1,260. Now I know a lot of students will try to just deal with these numbers as the original numbers, so we multiplied it out to start with. But if you do that, you're making life difficult for yourself. The other way, again, the quicker way of doing it is to look at the powers again. For the least common multiple, you take the highest power. So the highest power of 2 is 2 squared. The highest power of 3 is 3 squared. The highest power of the 5's is 5 to the 1, or 5. And the highest power of the 7's is the 7. So we've got 2 squared, 3 squared, 5 to the 1, and 7 to the 1. So with the highest common factor, we take the smallest power out of each. And with the least common multiple, we take the highest power.